Yes, hello everyone. Welcome back to the Footy podcast ahead of the AFL draft. Very excited to be here with the big X-Man, Xavier Walsh. Xav, how you going?
Good, mate. How are you?
Good. I'm excited. Obviously, you're someone who, I guess we'll throw this off the bat. We were just chatting a bit off camera, but, you know, a raw product in a sense. I think that's more so, I think all key position players pretty much cop that if you're not at the top end. But you're also someone with very limited, I guess, footy exposure. How has that made you feel? Is to see that label of being a raw product and also just to be one of those players in this draft with, you know, bugger all exposure?
I feel, it was, I think at the start of the year it was a big blow to like my confidence. I was, thinking, this just isn't going to be my year at all. Just kind of float through, see what happens. But I consider myself really lucky to get the opportunities I had. Like at the start of the year, I wasn't even expecting to make the 18s team and then getting selected off one game, and then towards the end of the year, getting the call for the national combine, I just consider myself really lucky. Like getting labelled as a raw product, I'll still take that under my belt and use that as motivation, and then use that as I've got a big upside to work on and develop on. So I consider myself really lucky for the position I've been put in.
Now, conversations with clubs, obviously considering the little amount of footy that you have played, made your Waffle Colts debut this year, but you were still someone that was, known coming into this year. Yeah. What have your conversations with clubs been like about you as a player, given how little you've been able to show on bigger stages?
It's been based a lot around that, and kind of the consistency. That's one thing they always bring up, especially with only making my Colts debut this year. They always ask, how do you think you'll perform against bigger bodies and more experienced players and stuff like that. But I think with time, and if I get given an opportunity just with the time and experience, I feel like I could develop into a player that can compete at that level.
Yeah, now, obviously you haven't managed a great deal of footy. We've sort of covered that. Yeah. But I think people are always looking for, you always want exciting mids, but no one really cares about, the half-backs or the wingers or the forwards. People love big forwards. So you're fairly decently rated. When you consider how much footy you've played, you're very well rated. Does it surprise you at all to see yourself, I guess, if we were to put a number to it, maybe in the top 10 to 20 key forwards, maybe even better than that at under 18s level in Australia?
Oh, massively. I was really surprised to see that. I guess I am lucky in the fact that there isn't a huge number of key position players in this year's draft, but I was pretty surprised to see myself get put in that kind of group of boys with the top key prospects in the country. But I feel like, although I have had limited exposure, I feel like if I had a full pre-season, gained a little bit more experience and just worked on my craft, I feel like I could earn a spot in that kind of group of players.
Yeah, now you come into this year with an almost advantage to some players having graduated last year. You don't have to worry too much about school. What was your mindset coming into this year? Obviously, you would have wanted the Waffle Colts debut. A lot of blokes especially would have had that taste already. So for you, what was the mindset coming into this year? Was the draft and state footy at the forefront, or was it sort of just one step at a time?
It was a little bit one step at a time. I had set a goal since the end of last year to get added to the state 18s this year. But then obviously going into surgery at the start of pre-season, having no pre-season, I kind of put that to the side and said, we'll just focus on playing that first round of Waffle Colts footy and building up through there, and then hopefully get added as a late selection into the 18 squad. So, getting selected off that first Waffle Colts game was really good, and just, going forward, building experience, playing with the best kids in the state, training with them every week, and then still gaining more experience through Waffle Colts was really, really good. Really enjoyed it.
Yeah, now we were just talking a little bit beforehand, but away from footy, off field, what has this year looked like for you? Obviously, you're Dan Murphy's newest son, so that's exciting. Yeah. But I guess just in general for the year, what has this year looked like for you away from footy, having graduated?
It's been pretty cruisy for the first 6 months of the year. I did a uni-ready course out at ECU, so that was pretty chill going through that, and then just working on the side a little bit, coaching at school, just little things to fill in time, and then a bit of golf every week, trying to get over the top of some of the boys there. But it's been pretty cruisy throughout the year.
Yeah, who are the better golfers in this WA crop?
Myself.
Is that biased to say yourself, or is there genuine numbers behind that?
There's no numbers behind that. I couldn't even give myself a handicap.
Yeah.
But, I'd say Kells would probably be at the top of that group. Kells is always out and about. Oscar and Baston gave up before hole 4. That was pretty funny to watch. Joe Matthews would be up there, but I'd say Kells and Joe Matthews probably be the top 2.
Who likes to think they're the best?
Joe Matthews knows he's the best.
Yeah.
But Oscar thinks he's good until he gets to about hole 4
and then
he's off. Dan Curtin thinks he's pretty good. Most of the boys have a lot of confidence going in, and then halfway through, everyone kind of just gives up, and it turns into a bit of a piss take. But it's always good fun.
Yeah,
always good fun.
Now we'll talk about Trinity. Obviously, graduated last year. Yep. Talk to me about the footy program there, because I guess results-wise, maybe it doesn't seem the best, but it has dished up some pretty handy players in recent years. So I guess talk to me about, from your experience, the footy program there.
It is quite strange to see the numbers and then seeing like 2 or 3 kids get drafted out of that group. But 2021 was a bit average. Big coaching kerfuffle with one of the coaches getting sacked halfway through the year. And then Darren Harris came in the second half of the year. I'll give all my thanks to him, and I appreciate him a lot for what he did for me, putting me into the East Perth system as an overager, and starting a bit late, but still getting me in there and giving me that opportunity. And then last year, getting coached by Scott Moore was always good. I've built a really good connection with him, and he's always there for me, and I really appreciate him for that. But it was a bit rough going through, only winning 1 game in 2 years. It was a bit, got sick of it quite quickly, but what can you do? It's just a part of life. But just building connections with the boys, and still going out every week and pulling on the jumper for Trinity was just always good fun.
Did anyone know the song come that 1 win?
Fair few of us forgot it.
Yeah.
None of the boys in the younger years knew it. It was pretty quiet. I think there was 2 or 3 boys carrying us through, and then everyone else was kind of just opening
mumbling
their
way
mouth,
along,
making sounds. But it was still good just to get that win.
Yeah. Now, you've played key back before. You were a key back before a forward. Were you key back for Trinity or a key forward?
I was never a key back or a key forward. I was kind of a victim of circumstance, and that just chucked in the ruck for 2 years. That was tough, especially going up against some big boys there, like Alex Condon and Riley Sprigg.
Yeah.
Half of those boys were very tough to go up against. From year 10 to year 12, I was chucked in the ruck, and that got quite annoying. But then, getting the opportunity to play as a key position player at East Perth was real good.
Yeah. Did you, as a ruckman, do you rate yourself at all, or was it just a calamity?
Absolutely not. It was just trying to create a contest, just jumping into people. Almost.
How were you once it hit the deck?
Oh God, it was horrible.
We'll move on past that. Now, you're still involved coaching year 7s at Trinity. What's that been like for you?
Fantastic. Best coach of all time.
Yeah.
Throughout the year, only lost 1 game. So, with basketball and footy, that was good fun. Footy was really, really good, actually. I think it was really good. It opened up my eyes and made me view footy in a different way as well. And then coaching a lot of those younger kids and watching them develop throughout their school seasons, and there's definitely some big names to be watching out for. I have no doubt some of them will be on the show in a couple of years.
Yeah.
So it was really exciting and real good to coach them.
Are you putting that in now just in case they're any good? Just sort of like hedging your bets just in case? Just
in case. I reckon there'll be one. I reckon Nash Styles, he'll definitely make it through. He's head and shoulders above the rest, but I reckon there'll be a fair few that come through. Yeah.
Now, obviously, year 7s as well, you'd have to develop a lot of patience to deal with them. Has it made you, I guess, respect and appreciate your own coaches more?
Oh, definitely. The patience you do have to develop. I think at the start of the year, I was getting pretty pissed off at some of the boys, just not listening, and the attitude they bring to training was pretty annoying, but by the end of the season, it was pretty funny. But I think I did develop a bigger appreciation for coaches, and especially with that big group of players, 50 kids coming to training and having to control all of them for 2 hours it gets pretty hard. But it built a lot of patience in me as well. So I always appreciate that.
Yeah. Now I know, I guess from personal experience, I wasn't very good at footy. I don't know if you could tell. Had to be a real coach's pet. Did you have any coach's pets at Trinity? Anyone that was just a real suck up for you?
Yeah, I had one who so the way the year 7s train, they have a period their period one on a Wednesday goes towards like their sport training, because there's not enough room and resources for 7s, 8s, and 9s to train before and after school. So just for that one period, he'd skip PCG every Wednesday morning and come help me set up training. And then he'd stay behind for about 10, 15 minutes after and just sit on the floor and ask what he could do better that week and all that stuff. So it was nice. It was nice to see him put in that amount of effort. But, his skills are slowly developing.
Yeah, they're developing though.
Yeah, they're developing.
And that's what's important. He's a developing player.
Yeah.
Did he win the Coaches Award?
He didn't. He got
that's stiff.
It was very stiff.
You're a terrible coach.
I didn't have any control over the coaches.
How does that work then? You're the coach.
So I was almost an assistant coach. So one of the PE teachers was the head coach. He stiffed him up a little bit for that.
Yeah.
I felt bad for him, but the kid who got the Coaches Award was a bit of a twat, to be fair. So it was pretty stiff, but hopefully he'll come back next year.
Yeah, work hard in the
be on
eights.
his revenge arc next year.
Yeah, no,
come back
absolutely.
strong.
Oh, he's going to suck up so hard next year, or he's just going to hate the coaches and
see.
just not talk to you at all.
Wait and see.
Now, technically, I'd imagine Year 7 footy is pretty similar to like very amateur level footy.
Yeah.
Is it sort of just like go out there, hope for the best? Are you actually employing any tactics within this side, or is it really just, was it Nash? Was it really just give it to him and hope for the best?
I think it was definitely a bit of, the team kind of revolved around Nash. It was just, whatever Nash is feeling on the day, we'll go with that.
This would be great if Nash does make it in the future.
But that was one of the best teams I think I've ever seen assembled. So we had 12 rounds throughout the season, and through 12 rounds we had a total of 58 points scored against us.
Yeah.
So it was it was ridiculous.
How many points did you score?
We would have scored probably 1,300-ish.
Oh shit.
Yeah, we were scoring like 100 every week. So one thing I always remember is I think our third round against Christchurch we were up 132, I think, or 131, something like that.
Well, they don't have like a mercy rule?
Nothing.
That's terrible.
Nothing. The second time we went, because we play every school twice. The second time the coach just came up to us and be like, just go easy,
Yeah. I don't know how you tell kids to take it easy.
It's ridiculous. But we were up by 130 odd with a minute to go, and then Christchurch scored a point after the siren on a set shot, and the kids looked like they'd just been beaten by 130 points. They walked off, heads down. They were not happy at all. And coming to train that week, they were still angry. It shouldn't have been a free kick, this, that. But it was good to see those kids have that drive and that passion about footy in them.
So there's like a future super team going on at Trinity.
Massively.
We've got a few years in Trinity.
Massively,
I'd say back at top. Have they ever been at top?
I don't think so. But,
Trinity's coming up, baby.
They are. They'll definitely make up for what we had to go through the last couple of years. They'll definitely hopefully bring it back home.
Yeah, you're a pioneer.
Yeah. We started it all. We laid the foundation.
You took those losses so they could go on and blossom with wins. Now, you were an overager in State 16s last year. Tell me about the State 16s experience, first of all, last year.
That was real fun. I think I was really lucky to get invited to the exhibition game at the start of the year. So that was like the futures game for that. So that's where that was Clay, Colton. That was the best game I've ever seen Colton play. That was ridiculous, to be fair.
So he's dropped off since then, is what you're saying.
that was his peak. That was his peak game.
Yeah, Colton's dropped off.
A couple of those boys, playing with all those boys was really good. And then, going through futures and getting selectors and overage for 16s was still really good, just to go through a state program for the first time and see what that was like. And then meeting a couple of boys there. I'm really close with Bo Allen, Cale Jarrah and those boys now, Malachi Champion. It was really good to create connections with all of them and then see them develop through this year and play as underages again for the 18s team. It was really good fun.
Yeah, now I get a year isn't a big difference between people, and you definitely would have had, I guess, maybe less experience in some of those players. But when you come in as an overager, do you feel any pressure to perform or bear more responsibility within the side?
Yeah, I think I definitely felt a little bit of pressure, especially because that was the first time I'd be the oldest in the team. Like coming up, growing up, I've always been a year younger than everyone. So I was supposed to be in year 12 this year. So coming up and always being the youngest in the team, I felt no expectation. I'm the youngest. I'm just floating around doing my thing. But I think I definitely felt a little bit of pressure at the start, but then going through the program, training every week, and then just, talking to the coaches every now and again about what they expected of me through games. I think it dulled down a bit towards the end of the program, and I felt really, really comfortable and just took it as a really good opportunity to make the most of it.
Yeah, and I guess off-field with the professionalism side, I guess you'd say, like how did state 16s compare to the state 18s?
I'd say 18s is definitely more intense. There's a lot more expectation on everyone to be, presentable. Every time you rock up to training, you're pulling your head in, you're doing what's asked of you, whereas 16s are still a little bit relaxed and, have a bit of fun.
Yeah.
So I think there was definitely a big jump in the professionalism side of that, but like skill-wise and all that, I think it was pretty similar. Obviously, 18s is a lot more consistent and bigger bodies, just higher footy IQ, having that extra year or 2 years under your belt. But professionalism was definitely the biggest jump, and education, watching games back, all that stuff definitely jumped up a level.
Yeah. Now you mentioned that you were supposed to be in Year 12 still this year. You were born in New South Wales, or you grew up in New South Wales?
I grew up in New South Wales.
So were you born here and then moved to New South Wales? Tell me about that.
Yeah, so my dad was in the army, so I was born over here, and then he was posted out to Albury-Wodonga.
Yeah.
So I lived on the border for a couple of years there, grew up there, and then moved up to Townsville for a couple of years. That was good fun.
Yeah, it was a real pause there.
Yeah. And then we moved back over here in 2012, and we've been here ever since.
Yeah, okay. Is Townsville Queensland?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So what was that like, I guess, growing up there? And how come you started school year early? Do they do that?
Yeah, they do that over there. I think they do it like in your birth year, almost like your draft year.
Yeah.
Almost instead of like that middle
But then you
of the
graduate
year.
at 17.
Yeah.
That's weird because Victoria does it that way, but you graduate at 18.
Yeah.
So
it is a bit strange. It's all different everywhere. It's hard to understand. I still don't understand it. Mum's a teacher. She tries to explain it every now and again, and I just kind of zone off, fall asleep.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Where was your favorite? I don't know if you could remember much of them. Where was your favourite place to live?
Definitely Albury-Wodonga. That was always
more than
good
Perth.
Fun. Perth would always be number one. I've been here the longest. That's home, but home away from home would be Albury-Wodonga. I've created a lot of connections over there. Townsville was just different.
Yeah,
different.
Do you know any of the boys, like footy boys from Albury-Wodonga?
I've never met any of them. I know Connor O'Sullivan from that area, but I can't remember meeting any of them.
I just don't know how small. I went to Wangaratta. That's about as close as I got, so I don't know how small it is. And now your year this year, it's sort of been a bit up and down, I guess, with performances. You've had some great performances. You've had some quiet ones, and then suspension came at a very tough time. So, talk to me just about your year in reflection.
Definitely, as I said before, I consider myself really lucky for the opportunities I've received, for how much I've actually done this year in terms of footy. But yeah, at the start of the year, I was just trying to get that coach debut, and then get back as soon as possible, get back to playing footy as soon as possible, and then getting that suspension was definitely tough. I think for a couple of days I was pretty down, but talked to some coaches, talked to some mates, and then just tried to put kind of a positive mindset on it and use it as like a catch up on all the pre-season I'd missed at the start of the year, and just focus on that, and just make sure my presence was still there, rock up to training every week, and not just give up on the spot and be like, this is my year done. So I feel like that was that helped in terms of building resilience and pushing through tough times. And then coming out the back end of the year, definitely felt a lot more confident in my playing. Definitely felt like I played better than the first half of the year. So yeah, it was tough, but it was good to get through and build resilience through that.
Yeah, I don't want to diminish what happened to the other guy, but pretty soft suspension.
Yeah,
you don't have to go into it if you don't want, but I'll say
it was. I think it was pretty stiff. I was pretty pissed off.
Exactly. So I guess when you consider that, and the time it came at the back end of the state champs, where not to say anything against Luca or Rue, but we just didn't really have our key forward sort of firing at any stage throughout the champs. So it was a perfect opportunity. I guess the frustration through all that and having to sit on the sidelines. Yeah. You sort of mentioned a bit there, but how was that, and how did you sort of try and handle that?
Yeah, it was definitely tough. It was good to obviously watch that win against South Australia. But it was definitely tough to just be watching on the sidelines. Like my little brother had been talking about, as soon as I got added to the 18 squad, had been talking about playing Harley Reid since the start of the year, and then knowing I wasn't going to have the opportunity to play Vic Country in general was just it was a bit tough, especially to watch the sidelines. How close that game was.
The crowd intensity.
Yeah, the halftime scrap. You just look at that. You just like.
Were you running water?
I was.
Did you get involved with their water boy? Maybe you should.
No, their water boy ran away from me, mate. He wasn't having a bar.
I don't blame him. Yeah.
But it was definitely tough at times, but it was still good to be around the boys and watch them succeed. Even through the tough times they did have, still help them come back up and compete again.
Yeah, now I feel like I'm almost harbouring on like negatives for a bit here, but like the one game you did get to play, obviously awesome you got to play.
Yeah.
Managed a pretty early goal. Wasn't maybe the end result we would have wanted. So what was that experience like in the one State 18s game you did manage?
It was tough. It was a tough day in the office. Connor O'Sullivan he's probably one of the best players I've ever had to play against. I'd say like him and Curto would be the toughest two opponents. Curto at training, and then Connor O'Sullivan in that game. It was definitely tough day in the office, but I feel like it was a good learning experience watching, different situations, what I could have done better, what I could have done to, have more impact on the game. It was definitely good to watch after that, but it was definitely tough for that to be the only game I was involved in.
Did you kick the first goal or the second goal?
Second goal.
And we were like 2 goals up. Were you thinking, oh boy, we're away, I'm kicking back?
Yeah, sort of. I think there was a little bit of a confidence rush, but as soon as they, by the end of the second quarter, I was like, this is gonna be a tough day.
It wasn't great to watch, so I can't imagine it was good to be a part of. Jed Walter was obviously in that game, the far and away number 1 key forward in that draft. You would have had a lot of time to watch him, I guess, but what was that like to see someone who is maybe not like a rival to you, but someone who plays in your position and is so highly rated, like seeing him go about it the way he did?
It was definitely eye-opening, seeing how much impact he can have off a game of, just the way he influences the game with his, aggression and just the way he carries himself, and then playing on, sent down to the back line for the last kind of 5 minutes of the game. Playing on him for that 5 minutes was pretty tough. Like, his leading patterns, all of that, it was very tough to play on. I think he's definitely a very good player.
Yeah. Now, you're with the key forwards from WA, you're with Roo, you're with Luca, there's even Evan Smith, other players that sort of rotate through there, Colin Livingston. Yeah. Are you sort of, when you come together as the best key forwards from WA, do you sort of learn off of each other in any way? Is there sort of any development from each other? Do you guys talk about how you go about it? I don't really know what it's like to be a key forward. I'm a couple centimetres short, but
it was a bit on and off. Like in terms of bouncing ideas off each other. Some nights we'd have massive group chats on what we're going to do this week. Like if it was for a practice match or just for a scratch match at training. How we're going to lead. How we're going to get rid of the defenders. As a unit rather than just creating one-on-ones. Then other training sessions was a bit down. It was a bit just doing your own thing. So it was a bit on and off, but definitely learnt a lot off and bounced ideas off each other. The shorter key forwards would be, more relying on leading patterns and then giving that info to the taller players, and then taller players would kind of be, talking about, how to win a one-on-one and use your body in the right way to kind of the shorter key forwards. So, it was good to get that info off everyone. Yeah.
Did you have like a key forwards group chat?
We didn't.
Okay.
Unfortunately, we just had the team group chat. I'm sure the mids have a group chat. They always reckon they're better
I was
than
about
everyone.
to say, if you had like a key forwards group chat, who would you put in there? Like, would you count like Ev Smith, Cohen Livingston as key forwards, or are you saying they can be with Mitchie Edwards in the ruck chat?
I think you'd have to add them just out of pity.
Yeah.
But you'd have to add them because they they're going to be down there at some point.
Yeah.
So I think
Does Mitch Edwards also make his way in then?
Oh, absolutely not. He's part of the mids group. He reckons I reckon if he got added to the forwards group chat, he'd leave the group chat. He reckons he's too good for the forwards now.
He's a genuine midfielder.
Yeah, he's a genuine.
He's
midfielder.
just a tall midfielder.
He's the fourth mid.
Yeah, exactly. Now, as far as players from WA over the course of, I guess, all the state stuff you did, you know, camps, training programs, games, who was someone that really impressed you with as their talent and the way they went about it?
Oh, definitely Curto. Like watching Dan, the way he carries himself throughout the season. To be honest, because he went to Scotch, obviously that PSA rivalry, and then you know, coming into the year, I was, you know, a little bit like, I think he's a little bit overrated.
You just hate him because
he went to Scotch, and then obviously you know, he's been injured I feel the last couple of years, so I hadn't actually seen him play a full game.
So you're just
footy.
an A-grade hater.
So I was hating on at the start of the year, but then coming into the season, watching him play, I was like, he's fucking good.
Have you told him that you were a hater?
I've never told him this. The first time.
Hopefully this doesn't get out.
Yeah,
we'll keep this one harsh.
Hopefully he still at least looks at me the next time I see him.
Yeah,
but,
next time I see him, I'll let him know you said you hate him.
I already know what's going to happen the next time I see him. He'll just make sure he brings his waffle grand final medal and just shove it in my face.
Well, they did that for the finale, so
did that.
Bit how you going.
Yeah.
As far as everyone from the state squad, who would you least want to room with?
Room with?
Yeah, like if you had to be one-on-one for a night, you know, on an away day, who are you saying, number one, I do not want to be in the room with them?
I've never had a room with him, but I've heard a fair bit about Colton.
Yeah.
Never goes to sleep up the whole night, just causing mayhem. That's a tough one, actually. I'll probably say Colton off the feedback I've heard from other people who've had to room with him before.
Yeah, Drizzy was the most popular one. So
I changed my answer to Drizzy. Watching some of the videos I got sent to the group chat, they're a bit hectic. The lights never go out with him. He's always up and about doing something strange. Yeah, that was pretty funny to see some of the stuff he was doing. But probably those two would be the top two. I'd be like, nah, I'm all good, thanks. Yeah, now a bit of a weird one, but say, and you know it happens. Yeah, you go into the room, the hotel's made a mistake. It's only one queen bed. Who are you sharing it with? Hopefully myself. Yeah. You know, that'd be first option. Second option. Would you just go like the smallest possible player? I reckon I'd get like Cohen maybe. Yeah, Sanch or couldn't get Drizzy. No, it's obviously he's the smallest, but he's too much to deal with. Yeah. Maybe you know I'd scout out a local baddie in the area, see if she wants to come up, occupy the other side of the bed. Yeah, just download Tinder really quick for the trip. Yeah. Maybe Bo Allen, love that bloke, best bloke. Ozzy Vanderstruff's pretty short. Yeah. Maybe one of the underage boys. So I'd have more authority. I'd be like, sleep on the floor, mate. Yeah. I'll give you a couple pillows. Yeah, okay. I bed to myself. So you're not spooning? No, absolutely not. Yeah, mate. Okay, fair enough. Yeah. I'm glad we're getting to the hard-hitting questions now that no one else is willing to ask. Yeah. Now, National Combine, big call-up, I guess, because we've harped on it, but you really didn't get to play much footy at all across 2 years, but just, you know, the fact that you're a raw product, you've got so many likeable traits. Were you surprised at all to get the national call-up? Did you have any idea that you'd be you know, on the top stage? No, I thought I'd be lucky to get invited to the state combine. So getting the call from Jonesy, when I saw his name pop up on my phone, I'm like, oh fuck, what's going on? Like, I thought I was in trouble. I thought I'd done something wrong. And then, you know, he's like, oh, you know, congratulations, well done, you've been invited and all that stuff. So it was very surreal. And I really appreciate the opportunity that the club had given me. It was, obviously I didn't perform as well as I'd like to. I had a couple of niggles a couple of weeks out, so that kind of, you know, put a pause on training for a couple of weeks, but it was still a really good opportunity to go over, you know, and just mingle with the other top kids in the country. Yeah, you got pretty stiffed with your 2K. Like, they put you in a good group. Like, they couldn't have at least, like, shoved a bunch of the tools together. Was that, like... that was
Because even Riley was towards it, like Hardiman was towards the back end, and
Yeah.
he got like I think 6:35 or something.
yeah. Well, I'll reveal the truth. So every group was based off what their projected time was.
Okay.
So I actually was in the slowest group,
Yeah.
and I ended up at the back end. So my goal was to beat Mitch, and he was smart. He just used me as a windbreak.
He stormed home.
Oh Jesus, it was ridiculous. He used me as a windbreak for the
Yeah.
first 3.5 laps, and the last 100 metres, he
Mate,
just
he
strided out.
Gassed
and
it. He could have
gassed
took
it.
another minute off that
Oh,
2K.
absolutely.
That was the fastest I've ever seen him go.
It
That
was
was faster than his
ridiculous.
20-meter sprint.
Oh, it was ridiculous. And watching him run in front of me, I was just like, oh, this is a
It
tough
sucks.
day.
Yeah.
This is shit. But yeah, it was still just a really good opportunity regardless to go over.
Oh,
But yeah,
absolutely.
hopefully I'll get a bit fitter.
Yeah.
Keep up with Mitch next time at least.
Yeah. Well, he is a midfielder, to be fair. That's a bad 2K
he's got
for a
that, He's
midfielder,
got that. Yeah, it is.
if you think about it.
I'll put that on him.
Yeah,
that's
no,
that's
I think we
shit
should
time
do-
for you, mate.
yeah.
I've done well for a key forward here,
Exactly.
mate. I've done better than you.
You don't have to leave the cage. He's got the whole ground to worry about.
Exactly.
So, yeah, I don't know what's going on there. How many clubs had you had speak to you before the combine?
Before the combine, I'd had a total of 9.
Okay,
And
so
so
clubs, you feel
I
like
was
there's a bit of interest.
Yeah, I was pretty lucky with that, and then I had 11 in total, so I had both Adelaide clubs for the first time at
Yeah.
the combine.
Did you have any interesting chats with clubs? Like anything that stood out to you at the combine or outside of the combine?
I didn't actually. I was pretty lucky in terms of questions. Like I didn't get any hard hitting questions. The hardest question I probably got was from Kinnear. He's a pretty intimidating figure. From Sydney, and he said, you know, if we gave you the opportunity, whose spot would you take?
Yeah, I've heard a couple of those ones.
And I was like, oh, how do I answer this?
Yeah, like you've got like
you
3,
know,
4 blokes
yeah,
to pick
I know.
from.
So that was a bit tough, and it's like you don't know whether the clubs want to see, you know, say I'm going to take this bloke spot and have confidence in your ability, or
Yeah.
not come across as arrogant and just be silent and be like, oh,
I mean, like you're a key
Yeah.
forward. What are you going to say?
exactly.
You got-
I
yeah.
just went with the default answer and said Buddy Franklin because he's retired, so
Yeah.
that's the spot open there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Be the next bloke to kick 1,000 goals.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, no. Gino, you said like intimidating. Did you have Adam Kingsley at all?
I didn't. I was
Did you
pretty
see him?
lucky. I didn't.
His shirt was bursting off of his biceps.
He's pretty big.
It was.
Colton was going on about that for a while.
Mate.
He's a big boy.
I had to share an elevator with him up to the G. And it was me and Michael Alvaro from Rookie Me, like got in
Yeah.
this elevator. And yeah, like we were walking to it and then it started to close and then like Kingsley opened it for us and it was just him. And he was just like arms crossed in this button up.
Popping
That
out.
was way too small for him. Like this
no.
button up was probably for me and his biceps are
That's
just bursting at the seams. I'm like standing next to him like this far from him. I just haven't said a word.
They all do it on purpose.
They must.
Like we there was probably like 6 of us in the elevator going back to the MCG for dinner, and we held the door open for some chick who's, you know, all dressed up, looking classy and that.
Yeah.
She steps into the elevator and 2 seconds later Stephen May walks in with the tightest blazer I've ever seen in my
Yeah.
life, and he's just like standing there at the back of the elevator, all
Yeah.
fresh and
just
looking buff as
hedge.
fuck.
What's he
I'm
doing
like,
at the G at the combine?
I don't know.
Staunching. He's just,
Absolutely. Yeah.
Melbourne just got him there to staunch.
It was actually pretty cool to be in an elevator, but that yeah, he's got like 2 sizes too small on purpose just to
Yeah.
look that big.
Yeah. Would you do that if you like fill out?
I reckon I'd have to boost the ego a bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Just like the tights thing. I wonder if they think.
The compression shirts,
Yeah.
they do us well.
I definitely couldn't wear a compression shirt. It would just show this pure cut. I wonder if they think we look weird for like wearing baggy clothes. The way
Yeah.
we think they look weird for wearing like
Yeah.
tight clothes.
Nah, we're setting new trends. They'll catch up with.
Exactly. My my granddad, my nonna Tony, he actually I went to dinner like the other week, and like when you picture say like OUH or something, like what are you thinking like most blokes are wearing?
Oh, they'd be wearing like, it's always jorts and like a plain white tee.
Yeah, and if not a plain white
cookie
tee,
cutter for everyone.
checkered button up.
Oh, absolutely, or flannel.
He has pulled up to dinner, sandals, jorts, checkered button up, gold chain. I was like, this man's like
He's
70.
learned a lot.
I'm like, nah, he's said history. It's just come full circle.
Oh, definitely.
I think we're just dressing like 70-year-olds now.
100%.
And there's this weird in-between stretch where like people wear really tight clothes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's just that.
Like skinny jeans.
They always try and be different.
Did you ever worn skinny jeans?
No, that's an Airshay kind of thing.
Right,
You always see
yeah.
the Airshays with the Gucci belts.
Yeah, those real, the real thin ones. My mum got me
ripped
skinny
jeans.
jeans when I was like 8. And I just didn't wear jeans for like a decade after. I don't think I owned jeans until I was like 19 or 20.
I was the opposite. I was horrible. Like these memories come up on mum and dad's phone from we went on a family trip over to Europe in 2017, so I would have been like 12 or 13.
Yeah.
And every single picture is these like tight red.
Coloured
skinny
jeans are
Coloured jeans are
gross.
horrible. And like I had a green like zip up hoodie on. I've got a like JB hairstyle, the Justin Bieber 2011 comb over.
I want to see this photo.
I'll have to find some. They're some of the worst.
Yeah, it sounds like
things
you
I've
dress like
ever
a Christmas tree.
seen. It's horrible. Absolutely horrendous.
Mate, coloured skinny jeans have to be like top 3 things you wouldn't want to wear on a night out.
Coloured skinny jeans.
Like coloured skinny jeans.
Ripped jeans.
Oh, ripped jeans.
Horrible.
Terrible.
I look at that and I just think so much less of that person. I'm just like, what are you doing?
You know
mate?
what I hate when you like see someone, you meet them, you talk like especially at footy, and like you really like them. Like obviously you're just wearing training clothes and that.
Yeah, and
then
you see
like
them out on the
post-game
weekend.
picks up ribbed like jeans, and it's like, oh,
That's a horrible.
come on, man! I thought you were.
I thought you were better than that.
I thought we were tight. I can't be seen out with you.
It's almost disrespectful.
Ripped jeans and then like just massive like Gucci belts.
Horrible.
Anything like that.
Absolutely horrible.
I've actually just described one of like a good mate of mine as well. Like it's a terrible thing. Like when people dress like that.
It's almost disrespectful to go out like that.
It's disrespectful to me as a friend.
You're putting a bad image on me, mate.
I wear jorts and Hawaiian shirts to be fair, so I don't know if I'm in any better shoes to speak about what people are wearing. I'll just wear what's comfortable and what I'm happy to get dirty. Back to the footy. Your performances in the combine, obviously having that injury. How did you feel off the back of it? Because I think clubs knew that you had injury woes, I'm sure, and you knew, so you knew maybe you weren't going to be performing at your best. Were you still upset, or were you sort of a bit like, I knew this was maybe going to be the case?
I was definitely still a bit upset, but I definitely didn't go in with as much expectation as I had before the injury niggles came up. But it definitely was kind of disheartening to go through and say all the boys at their peak fitness like perform that well, and then I'm just coming off the back of injury trying to do as well. But just to be there was good enough. Like, it was just really good to be around. I surprised myself on the agility test actually, to get a sub-9 score there. I was quite happy with that. But then the other tests I was a bit average with, but you can always go and work on them and come back.
Exactly, and clubs will know what you're good at anyway. They would have seen you at your best.
Yeah.
Now you're with Hemisphere.
Yeah.
Did you go to their like HQ when you were in Melbourne?
I didn't.
Have you seen it?
I haven't.
It's just like, have you been to like Albert Park, the lake there? It's literally just like there's a boat shed, and the top half of that is like Hemisphere. Oh. It's the weirdest spot.
Yeah, that is.
I was just asking because I wanted to like see, like, I wanted to know what it was like in there. Yeah. Because it looks pretty like almost Darrow outside of it. Like you don't even know it's there. Spot. Yeah, like I live just around there. Yeah. And so sometimes I'm like going past Albert Lake and stuff like that. And it's just the weirdest spot. Like it's a boat shed at the bottom. Wow. But not even like boats, it's like canoe boats.
Canoe boats. Yeah. Rowing.
By this like dirty lake. So
that is a bit strange, eh?
Yeah.
Trying too hard to be different.
Yeah. Maybe, I don't know. You'll have to.
I'll have a chat to him.
Yeah, please do.
I'll have a chat to him.
If you're in Melbourne next year, like, let me know and we can go in together.
Yeah. That is concerning.
Maybe I'm going to have to switch after that. Season's wrapped up. Yeah. We did speak about it. I've heard you playing a bit of Sunday footy. Is it just the one game you've played? Or?
Yeah, it'd probably just be the one appearance. Yeah. But it was so hot, so draining for a 40-minute game. Like by the end of it, I'm just like, I just want to leave now.
Yeah, there's some good play because like the boys have been asking me to come down, not to play, to coach. They definitely don't want me to play, which is super weird. It's probably
that is a bit strange.
Yeah, I won't get into it. You know, that's their decision.
Touchy
I guess
subject.
I miss preseason, so that's probably what it is. Just respect to the other
Injury
boys.
niggles.
Yeah, but they always they hit me up saying like which players are down, and like South Freo have like a bunch of league boys down. I hear Heine Baston's there.
Is he?
That's what
I haven't heard of that one.
He's coming in after, so we'll have to ask him.
Yeah, grilling on that. I saw him at Social League Basketball last night. Actually,
Did you?
Yeah, he was glistening in sweat.
Yeah,
him and Kels are having a bit of fun.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good group.
Yeah.
Yeah. How easy is Sunday League Spring Footy?
It was pretty fun, but there are a couple of sweats there. You know, you always get the old heads who think they're playing in the AFL Grand Final.
Is it like AFL 9s? How big are the teams?
It's I think it's 15 a side.
Full size grounds?
Yeah, full size ground.
God, that's a lot of running.
It is tough. It is a lot of running. But everyone's taking the piss. You just kind of kick as far as you can, hope for the best.
Oh,
but,
I would not be. I'd be sweating.
It was pretty tough, but especially playing with like the likes of the Harves brothers. Caden Harves was getting pretty intense.
Yeah. Are you playing with them?
Yeah.
Gee, that's like the South Freo boys, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, so that's a good team.
So it was a pretty good team. The first game I rocked up to after the finale, actually, I rocked up at half time, so I was a bit late.
Yeah.
And then I rocked up and we're getting absolutely pumped and went out the second half, sat in the forward line, and I think I ended up just sitting on the floor. I was just got a bit bored.
Yeah, you I got told that. Someone was like, Xavier Walsh was there on Sunday. I was like,
hold on.
We were recording till like 4:30.
Oh, mate, that game of pig.
Oh, we won't get into it because the results won't be out yet, but went forever. That dragged on. Next year I'm gonna change it to 4 letters.
It got finished on purpose.
Yeah, 5 letters is just...
The bloke who finished it, he did it on purpose. He felt bad for everyone spectating, so he did it on purpose.
Yeah, I felt bad for everyone spectating because like I'd organised this.
Horrible.
And I told all the boys, I was like, yeah, it starts slow, but then finishes quick.
And
it was
quite the opposite.
It was wrapping up quick.
It was quite the opposite.
Final 2.
And it just doesn't
That was
stop.
like 40 minutes.
Some of the most ridiculous shots coming out. Like, you'd miss the easiest shot. Next bloke could make the hardest shot, and you just slot it straight after. It was ridiculous.
It was painful. My mate was on the cameras behind the goals. Yeah. He was not happy.
He wanted to understand why.
He wanted to be back to watch the cricket. And I just have to keep going to him. I was like, I was like, I actually have to go to Bassendean after this before we can go home. So,
I think next year, if it comes down to there, it might have to go down to a paper, scissors, rock.
Yeah, I'm doing 4 letters next year. There is no way I'm sticking to 5 letters. That was terrible.
Yeah, just do pigs, plural.
Yeah, just several pigs.
Yeah.
Multiple pigs.
Yeah.
Would you say, fingers crossed, if you don't get drafted and you're still playing spring footy, do you reckon? Do you know if that team plays the Kenwick team again? Do you reckon we could match up on each other?
Oh, I think they do because when we played the Kenwick team, there was probably 4 or 5 of us, and we were filling in for another team. Yeah. So our team, our official team, hasn't actually played Kenwick yet. Okay. So I think I'll be down there for that one.
Yeah.
That'll be a big matchup.
Yeah. I'll do 1-on-1.
Oh,
I'll take you on.
ISO situation.
Boys, just leave it to me. Oh, I'm going to be flying. I'm going to be like Mitch Edwards, just behind you, and the next thing you know, I'm way ahead. Finally, just leading into the draft, a week and a half away. Yeah. We were talking earlier, but you're one of those players where it's really you've got no clue. You are absolutely good enough to get drafted. There's a lot of blokes who by now would know they're not getting drafted or would think they're not getting drafted, and you were saying, was it prepare for the worst, hope for the best? Yeah. So you're a live chance, but you don't want to get your hopes up. It's a horrible position to be in.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty tough, especially seeing some of the boys go through it last year. They get their hopes up, all their mates. Obviously, their mates believe in them and supporting, which is really, really good to have. Your family always supporting you. But I think at the first half of the year, personally, I kind of took that on as expectation. I really felt the pressure. But coming towards the end of the year, I've been pretty chill about it and just be that, I'm glad I have the support and the belief system from other people that I have the ability to go in there. So, because I was doubting my own ability a lot throughout the year, especially with all the things that went on. So it's definitely good to have that support, but it is pretty nerve-wracking. And you just want to get over and done with. Just tell me now, get it over and done with.
Yeah,
Like,
it's a long night as well. They drag it on so much. So I'm like obviously looking forward to it, but at the same time not looking forward to it because no matter what, not to say I'm in a worse position than you are with it, but like no matter what, there's going to be blokes I want to get drafted who won't get drafted and vice versa. So it's like I'm going to be excited, but then I'm still going to be like hanging out. Like if you have been picked and it's into the 50s, I'm still going to be like edge of the seat, not able to like be relieved yet. But yeah, Zav, thanks for coming in, mate. Thanks for everything this year. Been an absolute pleasure, and hopefully, it's a nice exciting day next week.
Hopefully.
Thank you, mate.
Thank you very much.